Today we're going to be looking at some really strange Plants vs. Zombies plushes, as all these Plants vs. Zombies plushes actually aren't based off an official game. As of instead, these plushes are based off of a bootleg game called Plants Gone Wild, and is basically just a fake Plants vs. Zombies game that's just really strange. And while it actually ended up being extremely popular, and there's actually a bit of bootleg merchandise made for it, so yeah, some of these plushes were made and well, they're just really strange and obscure. Now first we're going to be starting off with the Lucmle pole. Now here's the design of the Lucmle pole that was in the game, and well, this is the plush that they made out of it, and well, I would say that it looks really strange. And well, the main reason for that is that the actual design of the plant in the bootleg game already looks really strange, so it looks even weirder in plush form, so yeah, overall, I think that they did a pretty good job of it, they just didn't add the pole. As of just like basically every single other Plants vs. Zombies plush that is meant to have a pole, for whatever reason they just decided not to add it. They also made the entire thing a yellow color, which isn't accurate, as it was supposed to have some darker spots on the back of it. And well, from what I could tell, it seems to have a bit too many leaves, but yeah, overall it's a pretty strange looking plush, and well, I would say that they did a pretty good job of it, they just missed a few details that were pretty minor. And well, there's also a bootleg of this plush, which is really common, so yeah, if you see this plush for sale, make sure it's not a bootleg, as well the bootlegs actually show up for sale a good amount. And well, as you can tell, the bootleg just looks really weird, and it's just really low quality, it could get damaged really easily. While the official one is pretty nicely made and everything, and the stem on the top of it looks pretty good, and the entire plush is nicely stuffed, and it has some nice embroidery. And while this plush is actually extremely rare, as it barely shows up for sale, and there's actually a very few amount of people that actually own this plush. But yeah, if you want this plush, you can look on websites like eBay and Mercari, but it'll probably take a while to show up, and if it does show up for sale, it'll be really expensive. And well, they also made a second design of the Dark Tomato, which I think looks a bit better. As of really, the only thing that they changed are the eyes, as well they just made them a bit bigger, and I actually really like that. As of I think the design and everything just looks really good, and they just overall did a pretty good job of it, and it looks much better than the original design in my opinion. This is also a much more obscure design, as well there's not a bootleg of this one. There's also very few documented owners, only being 5 people that are documented to own this one, including me. So yeah, in my opinion, I just think that this one just looks a bit better, and overall I think the design on it just looks a lot better and more accurate to the game. And well, just like the original design, if you want it, you can look on eBay and Mercari, but it will be really hard to find and also really expensive. Next we have the Dragon Beauty. Now here's the design in the bootleg game, and this is the plush that they made out of it. Well, this one's actually missing a few details. Most obviously, it's missing the pole, as well they basically just never made poles on these plushes for whatever reason. And while they're also missing the lime green and yellowish color on the top of this plush, as well, instead of making that color, they just made the entire plush a pink color, and well, it looks pretty good, it's just missing that one detail. But I do think that it was better to make it just one solid color, as I don't really think it would have looked too good if it had like shade in colors and everything, as I just don't think that the plush would look that good if they did that. So I'm kind of glad that they left it at one color, as I think it would have just looked like a mess if they tried to blend the colors and everything. But yeah, this plush uses once again the exact same leaf base as the Dark Tomato, and once again it doesn't look accurate. And while the face on this plush looks pretty good, it's nicely embroidered on and everything, and overall doesn't look that bad. And while the shape of this one also looks a bit more unique, as well there's just much more smaller pieces of the plush that had to just be stitched on and everything, and they could also get understuffed, as well since they're coming out of the plush they could get understuffed over time. But yeah, overall, just like the Dark Tomato plush, even though this one doesn't look really that accurate to the actual artwork of the plant, I still think that the plush looks pretty good, and they did a nice job with it, even if it doesn't look fully accurate. And well, once again, there's a bootleg of it, just like the Dark Tomato, and well, but it looks really strange. As though the leaf base just looks really undefined and everything, the embroidery looks really weird, and overall, the entire plush is just really low quality and falls apart really easily. So if you do see this plush for sale on eBay, make sure that it's not a bootleg, as well if it's a bootleg, it'll be really low quality and honestly really easy to tell if it's a bootleg. But yeah, if you do want the actual version of this plush, it's extremely rare and there's barely any documented owners of it, so once again, you can look on eBay and Mercari, but you have a very low chance of finding it. And well, just like the Dark Tomato, there's also a second design of this plush, which is actually the rarest out of all of these. As of to my knowledge, there's really only one picture of this plush, which already just makes it extremely rare, and there's also 0 documented owners of it. So yeah, overall, out of all of these Plants Gone Wild plushes, this definitely has to be the rarest one. And well, a few details were changed on this one, as well the leaves are a lot more lime green on this one than the original, and it's also more of a hot pink color. As of on the original design, you could sort of tell that it's a darker pink color, while in this one it's a much more hot pink color and it stands out a bit more. As of overall, it's just much more vibrant with basically every single part of the plush, and the embroidery also just looks a little bit different. And while everything else on this plush looks to be basically the exact same as the other plush, they just kind of made it a bit more vibrant, changed the embroidery a little bit. So once again, even though it isn't accurate to the artwork in the game, it still overall looks pretty good, and while there's no bootleg of this plush, it was just really obscure. And while there's also 0 documented owners of it, so if you do want this plush, you would just have a really low chance of finding it, and well, you would honestly be the first person to own it if you somehow did find it. And well, next up we have the Miss Tomato. Now here's the artwork of the character, and well, this is the plush that they made. Now once again, it's missing the pole, and also the leaf base is inaccurate, and well, the face also looks a bit different on the artwork. As of on the artwork, you could actually see a little blushes under the eyes, while on the plush they don't have that, but I actually think that it's better that they don't have that, as it would have looked a bit weird if it had a little pink line under the eyes. And well, for the actual plush itself, the leaf base is the exact same as the other plushes in the set, and well, this one uses basically the exact same pattern as the Dark Tomato. As though the stem on the top of the plush is basically the exact same, and overall, the shape and everything is basically just the exact same as the Dark Tomato. And well, it's a nice red color, which I actually really like the shade of red that they use, as though I think it looks basically perfect for this plush. And while the embroidery on the face looks pretty good, the eyes also look really nice with the extra eye shine that they added, and well, it looks pretty nice. And while it also uses basically the exact same mouth as the Dark Tomato, and overall, both of those plushes are just very similar. And well, there's no bootlegs of this plush, probably just because this one's really obscure, and for the longest time, no one actually owned it. But recently, it's gone up to 2 documented owners, so yeah, overall, this plush is still just extremely rare. If you want it, you could look on eBay and Mercari. And well, one thing that is a bit strange about this plush is that there's no actually known second design of it. As of all of the Plants Gone Wild plushes have second designs of it, except for this one. But there is actually a slight chance that there could be a second design of this plush, so keep in mind the Dragon Beauty second design has 1 image of it, so there could possibly be a Miss Tomato second design somewhere out there. As well, since there's literally only 1 image of the second design of the Dragon Beauty, there could be an image out there of the Miss Tomato that we just haven't found yet. But yeah, once again, overall, I do like the design of this plush and everything, even though it isn't fully accurate to the artwork in the game. But yeah, those were all the plushes based off of the Plants Gone Wild plans. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you didn't, please like, subscribe, and comment down below which of these plushes are your favorite. And yeah, have a great day.